Yeah.
Okay, good evening. Got 7 o'clock. First order is called order.
Zomers.
Here.
Dial.
Here.
Ritterbusch.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Knapp.
Here.
Opperman.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, this is the Plan Commission for the Village of Morton for Monday, April 27th, 2026. I hope everybody has had a chance to review the minutes. If so, I'd like to take action on that.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as stated. A second.
Call the roll.
Opperly.
Yes.
Knapp.
Yes.
Dial.
Yes.
Ritterbusch.
Yes.
Zomers.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, tonight we have 2 public hearings. And before we get into those, I'm going to have village attorney give us a word, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you. Public hearings are being held tonight pursuant to published notice. Any person wishing to make a comment to the Plan Commission will be afforded the opportunity to do so and will give their testimony under oath or affirmation. No member of the public may address the commission or ask questions of an applicant unless and until recognized by the chair. At the conclusion of the public hearing, the Plan Commission will make a recommendation to the village board. The Plan Commission makes recommendations only. The village board is responsible for taking final action on these matters.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
First public hearing is a petition for annexation at 2607 West Jackson Street. And I believe our attorney is going to take this one.
Yep, I'm going to speak to this one. Doesn't require testimony necessarily, but I'll give you the background of it. This is a matter that came for you previously on a recommendation for zoning classification. The village is also entering into a pre-annexation agreement, and the terms of pre-annexation agreement involve the execution of certain easements to facilitate the village requiring right-of-way, which were included within your packet. They also include a commitment regarding the zoning classification, and so what I would ask tonight in terms of action would be to recommend approval of the annexation pursuant to the terms set forth in your packet.
Yeah, and this is one we've already reviewed.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. McGrath or the village on that? Anyone from?
Mr. Chairman, is this the one that we were going to, that we didn't need to do action on based on the email?
Yeah, earlier today, Zach sent out an email indicating that because we had already acted on the zoning, we weren't going to take action on it. On further consideration on my part, because of the pre-annexation agreement, I pivoted and changed course and decided to save you from seeing this matter a third time on your agenda. We just act on the pre-annexation agreement tonight, and then we're done.
Is that clear?
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and act on the pre-annexation agreement and resolve the issue.
I'll second it.
Call the roll.
Martin.
Yes.
Zomers.
Yes.
Ritterbusch.
Yes.
Dial.
Yes.
Knapp.
Yes.
Opperman.
Yes. Okay, got your pre-annexation.
Thank you.
Okay. Our second petition this evening is number 26-04ZA. Petition has been received for 700 West Jefferson Street, requesting a zoning amendment. Is there anyone here from the public who would like to speak to this? Okay, go ahead and get sworn in.
And Angie Powers.
Oh, we're gonna need you to come around here and get sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
And then if you could, just go to the podium so we can hear you.
Just trying to get the zoning switched to use it as a multifamily. So it's currently commercial,
Okay.
and would just like to use it as two-unit multifamily to rent. That's it.
And this is your property now?
I'm in the process of purchasing it, but I don't want to purchase it if it's not going to be able to be used for that use. So, because currently it's commercial.
Okay.
So.
No, that's appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it looks like this was the old, this was the previous Hillcrest Dental Lab, correct? Zach, how long do we know the history of how long Hillcrest was in there?
I do not know the answer to that question. I do have had friends that have worked there throughout the years.
Yeah.
So it's been a lab for a long time, and he operated out of that spot where right now I feel like we've had trouble filling the space, at least in terms of having a new commercial tenant to go in there. Multiple people have looked at the space, myself as well as the fire chief have been through it. And after a few people have came and gone, I know Angie and then the current property owners came with this new idea, and this is the process to go forward for that. And, I know the utilities at this property are already split, so there's nothing to be concerned with there in terms of extra steps. We're at previous zoning amendment requests. We've had that be a part of the process. That's already taken care of, which is a really positive point for it.
What's the condition of the property since I haven't been in to change it from commercial to residential?
So the upstairs unit they were using as an illegal Airbnb. And then the lower level is like offices, so I would have to I'm gonna have to update it all and fix it up. The top unit is pretty much ready to rent, so I'll probably rent that one like as soon as I purchase it. The lower level, I'm gonna have to do some work to it.
In the basement, how's it conditioned?
It's a basement. I mean, it's pretty much storage.
Okay.
They have a lot of stuff in there, so it's a little hard to see the basement, but I have a history of renting properties for over 20 years, and I fix them up nice, and I take care of them, so, I mean, I'm gonna make sure and take care of it, so.
Ms. Bowers, is this gonna be your residence, or they will
No,
be rental?
no, I'm
Okay.
just renting it.
Okay.
I'm not living there.
And refresh my memory on our code. So if it's a B2 property, can you do a residential in there but only an R1? Or do we not allow residentials in B2?
Yeah, this, to my recollection, this wouldn't, without pulling the code up, we would not allow residential in B2.
Either way, 1 or
Correct.
2. R1.
Yeah, with the block being entirety B2, and given the lot set up and the use in the past, I feel as if the future of that property probably lends itself more to a B2 as it stands now. My concern is that if you were to sell the property or things were to change, that it would come back and it would be asked to be flipped back to a B2 from an R2.
Is there a way to make it a space where can be mixed use, like residential and like commercial space? I know there's some places that have that type of zoning, I don't know. And I know there's residential across the street, and like next door is a retirement home, so like a retirement place, so
Right.
there are people living there, so it is living. I know it's not zoned the same.
Yep, the village has a mixed-use overlay district, but your property's outside the bounds of that district.
Yeah, I know it's been difficult. I know that's sit vacant for some time.
Yeah.
You know, trying to sell as a B2.
Mhm.
Would there be adequate parking for?
Yeah.
Any other comments from the board on this? Yeah, I commend you for trying to make something work with that property. I know it's been there for quite some time, but just from my concern, that's just to let you know how I see that. I think they
Okay.
would come back that way.
Okay.
So. If there's no other conversation, I'd ask for a motion.
quick. Zach, I know this is kind of doing like kind of a spot zoning, which the village has kind of deterred in the past. Is that something that the village is in favor of in this, do you know by chance, or?
I never had that topic actually brought to me since I've started here in terms of spot zoning or
Okay.
any sort of situation that I've experienced yet.
Okay.
Or discussions I've heard, to be honest with you. Otherwise, I'd have more of an opinion.
Yeah, I mean, clearly there's spot zoning across the street, right, with that B3 in between the R3s. In general, I'm not a proponent of spot zoning, although it's also, when you look at this property, it doesn't look at all like a commercial property, right?
Right.
Looks very residential.
The property across the street that you're referring to is, I think, the thoroughfare for the business park, so it's the roadway
It's-
cut through.
It's cut through, got
Yeah.
it, yep. There's no actual building there.
That's correct.
It does feel like, as far as zoning is concerned, there is some broad strokes were at one point put down on the map. Obviously, there's R3 zone properties that are currently operating as single-family homes. It's just, there's zoning issues all over town, I would say, is my opinion, in terms of what we could look at as the town grows and develops.
I would say my history with this board would be that when cases like this come to us, we're typically trying to flip it back to
Just more
avoid the spot
consistent.
zoning than to introduce it.
Okay.
And a block that's fully zoned the same.
The interesting thing about the application is because it does abut R3, which would be higher intensity residential than the R2, which is requested. So if you're to recommend a R3 zoning classification, to the extent the concern is driven by spot zoning, that is largely rectified because that would bring it into conformity with what, adjoins to the north and east.
I will say that the fire chief and I have went through the house, and he has specifically said that he would not permit R3 in terms of a basement unit unless there's significant investment from, stamp plans from an architect in terms of making that safe for somebody. So, how would that work, Pat, in terms of if you wanted to go for R3, would that be allowed in the zoning, but then also the specific property wouldn't operate?
Yeah, so if R3 zoning was attained, that wouldn't necessitate having more than 2 units, so the property could be zoned R3. But if the property didn't meet fire chief requirements for a third basement unit, it could only have 2 units. Most of the property, it's my understanding that the bulk of the property, there are some duplexes and a lot of single-family homes that are zoned R3 that are across the way. So just simply because it allows a higher intensity wouldn't mandate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
So just so I'm understanding, Pat, what you're saying is it could go to R3 to be consistent with what's to the east,
Yeah.
but they would be limited to 2 rentable units.
In the absence-
Unless they remodeled and did whatever life safety requirements for access and whatnot to the basement.
Correct. With our current zoning permit process, in order for this change of use, it would require life safety review, and unless they could pass life safety review with 3, then they'd only get the 2 that they'd be permitted
Yeah.
for. Yes, sir.
I'm just going to say that, being that it looks so residential, I wouldn't have a problem with that. And to me, when it's adjoining to an R3, I don't feel as much that we're stepping out on a spot zoning issue because it's blended into some other R property. I don't have a problem with it going R. If it's better for the city or for us to make it R3 and it can live under these requirements that they'd either update the basement for life safety or they'd be limited to 2 units, I'd be okay with it personally.
How'd you feel about R3? You probably still, because you like the block.
Yeah, going off the precedent that we've had here before, that's, in my experience, that's what we've tried to avoid those situations. I just think that we're introducing something where it may come back.
Has that been a history of coming back to original zoning as it was before in the town?
I do not have an answer to that question. I'm sorry.
The two pieces of history I'm aware of on this property is it was Gary Long's office, and then it went to the dental lab, and then since the dental lab closed, it's been a persistent property that has been marketed for sale, and that it has come into the village office with ideas, usually driven around short-term rentals, which aren't allowed with the current zoning classification. So I would say it's been over the last several years, there's been any number of different properties been for sale, offered for sale at current zoning, disinterest in it at current zoning unless there were short-term rentals, which aren't available.
The most recent spot zoning issue, I remember it was it on Second Street, First Street?
First Street.
And what, do you remember?
Those were flipped from R to B.
They were flipped from R to B.
Yeah.
We flipped First Street from B to R.
B to R.
Yeah,
B to
because
R.
we had, in that situation, we had a number of properties that were zoned to commercial, but were all in residential use in the past with an eye towards seeing those in the future be made.
And we switched them so that they would all be consistent, right?
Correct.
To get rid of the spot
I
zoning.
think there was one outlier, which was the nail salon in the middle of the block, but I think the rest all flipped.
But if nobody has any more comments, I'd ask for that motion.
I guess we're gonna need a motion one way or another.
That's
Yes.
correct.
Recommendation, please.
I make a motion so we can vote on it at least, to consider what we're doing as far as petition number 2604 ZA
Thank you.
as stated.
Clarifying that motion's in the affirmative is to approve so that you can vote yea or nay on approving the
Yes.
rezone.
And it's to an R2. We're keeping it
We're
as an R2.
approving it
R2.
as stated. Correct.
Oh, someone has to second it. I'll second it.
Thank you. Call the roll.
Barton,
No.
Opperman,
No.
Zobrist,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Ritterbusch,
Yes.
Knapp.
Yes.
Approved. Okay. Just go to the village board for approval. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, other business. Davis?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Okay. And that, can I get a motion for adjournment?
I motion for adjournment.
Second.
Call the roll?
Opperman,
Yes.
Knapp,
Yes.
Martin, Ritterbusch,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Zobrist.
Yes.
Is adjourned.
It's a tough one.
Nice work.
I could go either.